to walk around the neighborhood, feeling blessed, never stressed.
Hey guys, hello. Welcome. Great to see everybody. Test out my audio. Built-in mic. Let's see here. Can you hear me just fine? Say hello in the chat if you can hear me just fine. Speaker output. Default. All righty. All right, I just wanted to make sure I have everything turned on. Say hello in the chat, guys, when you arrive. Good to see everybody. Let's see here. Nina is in the house. Hello, Nina. Hey, Jeannie. Oh, great. Oh, I'm so excited. Jeannie says she loves this topic for sure. Yes, you are going to love this topic. This is right up your alley. All righty. Jeannie Henderson, one of the amazing CBF coaches. People that get to work with Jeannie have an amazing year and an incredible journey. All righty. And there's Nina. Nina is in the house. All righty. Say hello, guys, when you get here. I did send out a text. And let me just take my little picture down. But say hello when you get into the chat. And let's see, Valentina. I love that name, Valentina. That's a beautiful name. Great to see you. Thanks for being here. Now, if you own a residential cleaning business, type into the chat residential. If you own a residential cleaning business, type into the chat residential. Just curious, who's here? Who's in the house? Because we're actually live streaming on YouTube, 3 groups on Facebook, and Periscope. And let's see if there's another place that I'm live streaming. Let's see, Periscope, Facebook, YouTube. That may be it. So we are live streaming everywhere. Residential, Jeannie, residential cleaning business. So guys, type in what kind of business you have. Or if you are thinking about starting a residential cleaning business, but you haven't started, type in thinking about it. But if you own or operate, you are the owner of a residential cleaning business, type in residential. Anyway, I thought it would be kind of fun on Mondays if I would just jump on here and pick a question of the week. What do you think about that? Question of the week. Oh, Nina is thinking about it. Oh, well, you're in the right place, Nina. You are in the right place if you want to start a residential cleaning business. You need to attend the biggest residential cleaning conference, independent residential cleaning conference in the world. It's going to be in Fort Worth, Texas in April. And Nina, you need to be there if you're considering starting a cleaning company. But anyway, I thought it would be fun on Monday evening, since that's usually a pretty quiet evening at my house. We're really not doing anything but watching TV and wasting time. That would be a good time to pull a question from our Cleaning Business Profits group and just answer a random question. And so I'll be looking next week for any questions that seem to get a lot of comments and traction. And, now, next week, I'll probably have to jump on here at 6 p.m. Central. I did it tonight just a little bit before 7. But every other Monday, I do a team meeting with my cleaning company employees on Zoom. And so that'll be next Monday at 7 p.m. But yeah, I think it'd be fun on Monday nights just to pull a random question and answer those for you guys. So Jeannie says anyone getting ready to start a cleaning business needs to come to CBF Live 2021. So thank you, Jeannie, for mentioning that. That's the announcement right now before I go ahead and jump in and answer the question. CBF Live is coming up in April 15th. So it's an easy date to remember, right? It's the IRS day. So what better way to take your mind off of your taxes than to be in Fort Worth, Texas with me and 300 residential cleaning companies talking about business, talking about how you can get to the point where you pay more taxes than you've ever paid in your life. That seems like terrible news, right? But no, that's good news. Because if you're paying a lot of taxes to the IRS, that means you made a lot of money. And so instead of worrying about tax day, April 15th, let's make more money than you ever thought possible. And we'll show you how to set it aside all year long so you're not upside down with the IRS. But next April 2021, in the spring, April 2021, we will be coming together in Dallas. And you know what? We are open for business, people. We are essential. We do not live our lives in fear. We get on planes, trains, and automobiles. Some people will feel more comfortable driving and not getting on a plane. Others will fly. You know what? We are the people that are moving forward. We're not standing still. We are not going to be frozen in time. We are not going to close our businesses down and watch our incomes evaporate and our hard work, our life's work go up in flames. We're not, that's not who we are as entrepreneurs. We're going to be in Dallas. We're going to be in Fort Worth, Texas, April 15th, 16th, and 17th for 3 full days. Live, in person, 3 full days, live event. Why? Because we're not afraid to live. We're not afraid to grow. We're not afraid to optimize in the new normal. We know how to take crisis and turn it into opportunity. And that's what we'll be doing in April 2021, April 15th, 16th, and 17th. 3 full days in a room full of residential cleaning business owners just like yourself who understand what you go through, who understand how difficult it is to find employees and inspire them to stay and train them the right way and find customers who will pay what you're worth. We get it. And we'll spend 3 full days training you on how to grow your business fast in the new normal. We're talking how to grow fast in the new normal. We are in the midst of what I believe is going to be the greatest cleaning business economic boom we have ever seen in this country. I really believe that. And I know I tend to be a bit on the optimistic side, but I'm not crazy and I'm not foolish. And I wouldn't tell you that if I didn't believe it. I believe we are right in the middle of experiencing the greatest cleaning business economic boom we have ever seen in the history of my being in business. And I've been in business for over 39 years. Are you going to learn how to pivot your business in the new normal? Are you going to turn crisis into an opportunity? Or are you going to wither on the vine like the other cleaning companies that will never reopen or will spend the entire year of 2021 trying to crawl back and not even get to where they were before the pandemic? Or are you ready to learn from the people who have been there, who have experienced growth and crises and downturns in the economy and upswings in the economy, disaster and prosperity? Are you going to learn from those people to show you how to optimize in the middle of a crisis so that you can turn a crisis into an opportunity? So we'll be talking about growing fast in the new normal in 2021 at CBF Live. So you can go and register tonight, CBFLive, LIVE.com. Growing big in the new normal, turning crisis into opportunity. That's what we'll be talking about for 3 full days regarding how to build $1 million self-running residential cleaning business. We don't talk about everything. We don't talk about post-construction and janitorial services. We don't talk about carpet cleaning and window washing and power washing and all the distractions that people can bring into their business. We talk about one thing: how to be the best in the world at running a residential cleaning business. So I hope you have it on your calendar. I hope you've already made up your mind. I hope you will not procrastinate and wait till the price doubles. I hope you will get registered right now. In fact, while you're thinking of it, while it's tugging at your heart, while you're thinking, man, I really ought to be there. I really need something. I need some help. While you're thinking of it, instead of procrastinating, instead of saying, well, maybe later, because we know later never comes, go to cbflive.com and get registered. All right, guys. So let's talk a little bit about, and let me say hello to a few more people that have jumped on. I do see, yeah, that's right. Jeannie says we are open for business. I totally agree. Let me say hello to a few people. And let's see here. Libby is in the house, another one of our CBF coaches. We have the best coaches in the world for our CBF community, for the residential cleaning business owners that really want to take their business to the next level. And Libby is another one of our CBF coaches, as well as Jeannie. And Libby says, we are booming here in Florida, and we are ready for that boom. Yes, she really is ready. All right, Nina says, I believe it, and I will be attending. Nina, I will be looking for your registration tonight. It doesn't get any cheaper. The registration price only goes up every week. So Nina, I'm going to be looking for your registration, cbflive.com. And make sure you come up and introduce yourself to me. And Jeannie will be there. You'll get to meet her. Libby will be there. And so many of other of our CBF coaches. You're going to feel like you've died and gone to heaven when you go to a CBF Live event. If you are interested in the cleaning industry, you will feel like, oh my goodness, where have these people been all of my life? That's how you feel once you get in the room with highly motivated residential cleaning business owners that are succeeding, not failing in business. And they'll help you, and they will mentor you, and they will motivate you, and they will inspire you, and you will get the knowledge and the information that you've been needing all along. And you're going to go back ready to hit the ground running and turn a crisis into an opportunity. All righty. So yes, Libby says CBF Live is amazing. CBF Live 2020 was awesome. And 2021 will be the event of the year. Thanks, Libby. And I totally agree. It's going to be super exciting. And Jeannie says, can't wait to meet all of you, including Nina. So guys, let's talk about the question of the week. I thought this would be a really fun thing to do on Mondays. Oh, when I got distracted. I'm on my phone here. I started to say hello to a few people. I saw Jessica is in the house. Who else is in here that I haven't said hello to? Who else? Maybe that's it. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Oh, and Renee. Renee is in the house. Great to see you. So I thought it'd be fun on Mondays to jump on here and pull a question that I get asked all the time, whether it's posted in the Cleaning Business Profits group or it's just a question that I get all the time. But this question just came up this evening from somebody that I was talking to. And they basically, I usually get two questions. Should I start my own nonprofit, or how do I start my own nonprofit? Usually it's one or the other, right? If people are interested in starting a nonprofit. So first of all, you really should answer the second question first. Should I start a nonprofit? Well, maybe you should, maybe you shouldn't. Not everybody should. But my question for tonight was, should I start my own nonprofit? And let me say this. I wrote down 5 things that I wanted to talk about regarding that. First of all, excuse me, my voice is a little crazy. First of all, in fact, let me take another sip. First of all, if you've ever thought about starting your own nonprofit, if you've had some kind of a desire, a little deep tugging inside of your heart to start a nonprofit, would you type into the chat right now? Just type into the chat just so I know what your thinking is, or maybe you haven't really thought about this. But if you have considered starting your own nonprofit, type into the chat nonprofit right now. That way I will know you personally have considered starting your own nonprofit. So type in there nonprofit. So the first thing I want to let you know is a nonprofit is a business, period. It is a business. So when somebody says, should I start a nonprofit? The question they are really asking is, should I start another business? That is the question that you are asking yourself. Should I start another business? Now, the difference in business when it's a nonprofit versus a for-profit business is the nonprofit business benefits the public, whereas a for-profit business is supposed to benefit me, the owner. That's the only difference. And so a nonprofit benefits other people. It is not for your own personal gain. It's not for your own personal wealth building or income building ever, right? But it's still a business. And so you always have to answer that first question. I do see some people have very seriously considered starting their own nonprofit. You always have to ask yourself, should I start another business? Now, here's how I recommend you answer that question adequately. If the business that you have right now is where you want it to be, and starting another business would not be a distraction that will hurt the business you're currently in, then that's the first question to be answered before you decide whether or not you should or should not start a nonprofit is, would it detract from my efforts to get the business that I'm already in to where I need it to be? And if the answer is no, it won't detract from it because the business that I'm already in is exactly where I want it to be. I'm making the income I want to make. I'm not trying to double it in size. I'm not trying to increase my personal income or the sales volume dramatically. It's somewhat self-running. It would not be a distraction for me to start another business. Then that's the first question that has to be answered. Because if the answer is, well, no, my business that I'm operating today is not where I want it to be, then right now is not the time to start another business, i.e. a nonprofit. And so you always want to think about how starting a nonprofit is the same thing as starting another business. And you're starting another business from scratch. Everybody thinks it's easy to start a nonprofit because everybody thinks that it's easy to raise money when you're a nonprofit. No, it's not. In fact, it's harder to get people to give you money when you're not giving them a service or a good than it is to get people to give you money when you're giving them a service or a good. So if you struggle to get business in the door and grow your cleaning business, how the heck are you going to get people to give you money when you're not giving them anything in return as a nonprofit? It's a myth that people are just standing around looking for nonprofits to give loads of money to. That's a myth. Okay. And especially a nonprofit that is not going to give them a certain level of recognition that they may be looking for when they donate to a charity. And so is your business right now today in a healthy enough situation to where you can stop paying attention to growing the business you're in and start and grow this other business called a nonprofit? So that's the first question to be answered. I know Jeannie, one of our CBF coaches, she has a very successful residential cleaning business. That's why she's a CBF coach. That's why she has time to coach other cleaning businesses. Her business is practically self-running. It's not 100%, but she is not actively needed in all of the day-to-day operations. So she is interested in starting a nonprofit. Her business is to the point where she could divert some of her time, energy, money, and attention over here to this new venture called her nonprofit. It is completely doable. Why? Because her business is to the size where she needs it to be. It's still growing, but she's not desperately needing to grow it to get it to where it needs to be healthy. So it's where it needs to be, and it is relatively self-running. And that was the example of my business when I started my nonprofit. My business was already self-running, and I was already making and reaching the goals that I had for my cleaning business. My goals had always been for years just to keep my business at $1 million. Now, since then, I have renewed my goals and made them much more aggressive and nearly have doubled it. But back when I started my nonprofit, which is now 15 years ago, as long as my business was doing $1 million plus I was an absentee owner, I had all the time in the world to launch a nonprofit, and I had the money. So that's the first question is, do you have the time and the energy and the money and the resources to stop focusing on the business that you're in right now and go start another business? And if the answer is no, then do not start a nonprofit yet. Wait till your business is successful and healthy and thriving and where you want it to be before you go and divert your attention elsewhere. The second thing is how healthy and successful is your current business? How healthy and successful is your current business? A nonprofit will not rescue your mess. I believe a lot of people think their nonprofit is going to rescue their mess. It will not. You'll just have two messes on your hands. So how healthy and successful is your current business? If you're still cleaning, even though you thought you'd be out of the field by now, if you have runaway employee turnover, if you struggle to meet payroll, if you barely have enough income left over to pay yourself every month after you pay your employees and all your overhead, your business isn't healthy. It's hanging on by a thread. Meet us in Fort Worth, Texas, April 15th, 16th, and 17th, and we will show you the way. But if your business is struggling, if your business can barely make a profit, if your business from one week to the next is one step away from chaos and calamity and crisis, then the last thing you should do is start another business, because that other business will also be always struggling, always unprofitable, and never fulfilling your goals and your wishes and your dreams. Fix your current business first before you go and start another mess. Fix this mess over here, or you will accidentally create a mess over here. Trust me, I know, because it is a business. And if you can't make one business succeed, you will not be able to make the other business succeed. Success leaves clues. And if this one's successful, then that's a clue that you will be successful at your nonprofit. But if your original business is not successful, it is also a clue that your nonprofit will fail. I know this to be true. I can't tell you how many business owners I've coached over the last 15 years who wanted to start a nonprofit, ignored my advice, had very unsuccessful cleaning businesses, launched their nonprofit, and within 2 to 3 years, their nonprofit was completely gone, out of business, closed. Okay. So one business has to be successful before you start another one. And then consider, okay, this is an option, especially if you're kind of anxious, right, and impatient. You want to start your serving and your giving back program. Couple of things. Number one, consider giving back the easy way. Just join Cleaning for a Reason. And that's why I have my logo up tonight, my Cleaning for a Reason logo behind me. If you have this urge and this heart to help others and give, that doesn't mean you have to go start a nonprofit. Okay. If starting a nonprofit is just this big diversion that's going to keep you from succeeding at your for-profit business, where you build wealth and you build the ability to go and give to others, consider just taking the easy way and joining Cleaning for a Reason and donate free house cleanings through that program. Now, if you're like, well, I want all the limelight, well, then that's a different story. But that's one very simple way to scratch that urge and that itch to give back without sabotaging the success of your existing business and going off and starting something you're not ready to start. So consider partnering with an existing nonprofit, and you'll get all the mileage, all the leverage, all the PR, all the social media glory, all the feel-good opportunities with employees and customers and prospects that you would with your own nonprofit. So consider partnering with another nonprofit. So Cleaning for a Reason is just an easy example if you're a residential cleaning business company, but it's not the only nonprofit out there. You could partner with the Lymphoma Association. You could partner with the Komen Association, or if you have a heart for pets and you want to partner with nonprofits that rescue animals, whatever your passion is. It doesn't have to be cleaning for a reason. So consider partnering with another nonprofit to really help you scratch that urge to give back and use your business for doing good. The other option is to launch a give back program inside your business, but don't create a nonprofit. Now think about it. And this is the advice I gave to somebody recently who really isn't ready to start a nonprofit. Her business is not where she needs it to be financially for herself. She's struggling, and she was interested in starting a nonprofit. And I said, one thing you should consider is just starting a give back program inside your company. So instead of getting all diverted and forming a legal entity of a nonprofit where you have to have a board of directors where you will be doing some fundraising, collecting funds, and then you got to figure out, well, what are you going to spend the money on, right? Consider just launching a program. So for example, when I started Cleaning for a Reason, or before I started Cleaning for a Reason was just a give back program in my own company. It wasn't a nonprofit. It never occurred to me to turn it into a nonprofit back then, or to try to raise funds and to do more. So in the early days of Cleaning for a Reason, before any of you ever heard of it, in fact, I have an image of the original logo. It said Buckets and Bows Cleaning for a Reason. That's what it used to say on my logo, because it was just an internal program for my cleaning company to give to cancer patients in my community. It was just a program. And so because you're not asking people to give you money, you're not raising funds, you don't need to be a nonprofit. You can literally launch your own program internally. So maybe you have a heart for feeding senior citizens and you want to launch your own internal program where every month you do different types of food drives, right? You could do that internally because you might be collecting food, but you're not trying to collect money. Do not try to collect money if you're not a nonprofit. That's really important. But for the most part, if you wanted to launch an internal program, you don't need money. You might need volunteers. You might need people to donate items, depending on what your internal program is, but you don't necessarily need money. So consider launching an internal program instead of a nonprofit. And that's exactly what Cleaning for a Reason was for many years before I decided that the idea was just so much bigger than just Louisville, Texas. And I had become a much more advanced business owner. By that time, I was already doing consulting and I was already understanding, the art of becoming an absentee owner. And so I was just more advanced in business at that time when I decided to take my internal program and turn it into a nonprofit. So consider launching an internal program. And then lastly, check your motives. This is absolutely critical. Check your motives. How do I say this delicately? I won't. There are too many nonprofits that have been started to financially benefit the founder. There are too many of them. It's absolutely ridiculous out there. And don't be one of them. I have personally talked with cleaning business owners and have observed cleaning business owners personally start nonprofits so they could raise money, collect money from the public to pay themselves to go clean for free. Okay. The IRS calls that self-dealing. It's actually a legal term. It's called self-dealing. It's illegal. It's illegal. I know of a minimum of 3. And if I think about it, I could pull the names of 5 or 6 that were started over the last 15 years by cleaning companies that started solely to raise funds, to hire their own company to do the cleaning. That is self-dealing. It is illegal. And if you're going to start a nonprofit so that you can raise funds to hire your own company, your motives are in the wrong place. Go join Cleaning for a Reason and go give the honest way. You cannot start a nonprofit, raise funds, and pay yourself. Now, yes, it is legal for a nonprofit founder to take a salary. Okay. If they're actually running the nonprofit and they're doing the daily work that a salary employee would be paid. I mean, there's nothing illegal about that. A nonprofit founder can take a salary, but they can only take the kind of salary that equates to the role they play, right? So it's very rare in our industry that you would see a nonprofit founder qualify even for a salary. Now, for myself, I've never taken a dime from Cleaning for a Reason. Never taken a salary, never taken a stipend. I mean, at best, they've reimbursed me for some trips that I've made on their behalf for fundraising, but they actually paid for that. But I've never taken a salary. In fact, I was so sensitive in the early days of starting my nonprofit. I was so sensitive to ever being accused of doing this for some kind of a monetary gain that when we moved the nonprofit out of my office, right? Because it started in my office with the desk in the corner. It became kind of disruptive and started taking over the place. When we moved my nonprofit 2 doors down from my own office, we rented an office space, and it had revenues coming in by that time, nonprofit donations coming in to pay the bills. I did not let the nonprofit hire my own cleaning company to go clean once a week, right? That's how committed I was to make sure there was no money coming to Debbie Sardone. I had the nonprofit, which was 2 doors down from my own office, after I stopped cleaning for free. So we cleaned for free as a donation, our nonprofit office 2 doors down from me, for several years. And once the nonprofit was doing fine financially, was bringing in enough donations to pay its own bills, I'm like, well, I'm tired of paying the bill to have my employees clean for free, but I'm not going to let our nonprofit hire my company, even though I was 2 doors down. So I had our nonprofit hire my local competitor to go clean their office. Why? Because I never wanted to even come close to anybody accusing me or thinking that somehow there was financial gain coming my way. And so I've been very, very careful to never take a salary or perks or stipends or anything from our nonprofit. So check your motives. That was number 5. Check your motives. Make sure that you're not thinking, I'm going to start a nonprofit so I can hire cheap labor to clean houses. Okay, there's another one that I've heard where people want to start a nonprofit and give ex-cons a job, right? And it's like, well, I'm going to hire them at minimum wage. It's like, well, why would you hire them at minimum wage? Well, because they're ex-cons, right? Are you going to disclose that to your customers? Well, no, because then they wouldn't hire us. Well, then, no. Check your motives. Are you just trying to get cheap labor? Right? Is that what you're trying to do? Are you trying to get cheap labor to come work for you because your business model is so broken that nobody will work for you other than an ex-con that can't get hired anywhere else? I mean, you have to check your motives. Why are you doing this? Do you just want to find a way to pay yourself? In all likelihood, if you start a nonprofit, you're never going to hire yourself to be, the full-time director, executive director. In all likelihood, if it does grow, you'll end up hiring somebody else. In all likelihood, you'll be a volunteer board member like I have been the entire 15 years. I've been a volunteer board member. All of my time is volunteer. I'm still on the board of directors. It's now called ISSA Charities. That's the legal name now. And Cleaning for a Reason is technically a program under ISSA Charities, but I'm still on the board of directors. And not only am I a volunteer, but I have to donate a substantial amount of money every year just to be allowed to serve on the board, just to be allowed to donate my time for free. So check your motives. This is so important. Check your motives. Why do you want to do this? Like I said earlier, I could name at least 3 cleaning companies specifically. They're gone now, that specifically started their nonprofit and started charging fees and trying to raise funds to pay themselves. Well, that's not giving back, and that is self-dealing, and it's illegal, and you can't do it. So If in the back of your mind, you've always heard that nonprofits can raise millions and somehow it's legal to pay yourself. Well, first of all, very few nonprofits ever raise millions. Okay. Most nonprofits struggle to survive. Most nonprofits can barely pay and meet their monthly obligations, just like most startup businesses can't survive, right? Because like I said, starting a nonprofit is starting a business. And since the majority of startup businesses fail, then the majority of nonprofits that start also fail. So you do need to know that. So check your motives before starting a nonprofit. Now, if all things are aligned, you do have a healthy, successful business, it would not be a diversion for you to go start another business because the one you have is doing well. It's paying you what you need it to pay you. It's running relatively self-running. You're making good income from that business, and it would not hurt your existing business to go and start a nonprofit. That's that first question that you need to make sure. Make sure you're not struggling for one business to work, or you'll just create two businesses that don't work. So make sure you have a business that works, that's healthy, that's sustainable, that is successful before you go and launch another one. And then consider launching a program internally first. Even if you eventually turn that program into a nonprofit like I did, consider doing it as an internal program first so that you are giving away, you're giving back, you're working out the bugs and kinks, you're finding out what really resonates with the public, you're finding out what you don't know. And so do that internally as a program first. And then launch your nonprofit when you're ready. And check your motives as to why you want to do it. And if all those things are aligned, and if your heart's in the right place, your motives are in the right place, your business is in the right place, your financial situation's in the right place, your business that is successful, then it probably is time for you to start a new business and start your nonprofit and find a way to give back and to give other people the opportunity to give back through your nonprofit. And so once you check all those boxes off, then you'll know if you're ready or if you need to wait 5 years or 10 years, or if you should never launch a nonprofit, but you should immediately get busy giving back through somebody else's nonprofit. So those things will give you a little bit of guidance so that you don't dig a deep hole for yourself and then wonder, how on earth am I going to get out of this hole? And, nonprofits are an incredible business to be in, but they're like any other business. They're a struggle. They're very hard, and it takes a lot of work. And anything you just give 10% of yourself to is going to fail, right? Imagine if all you did was give 10% of yourself to your own cleaning business. It's going to fail, right? So same thing with a nonprofit. If there isn't enough of you to go around and you can only give it 10 or 20% of you, it's not going to succeed. So don't waste your time and other people's money. But nonprofits are incredible, and they really do make the world more beautiful. And especially when you are an entrepreneur and you love to create and you want to use some of your expertise and your knowledge and your wisdom to help other people, it's a wonderful, rewarding thing. So I don't want to discourage anybody, but I want to encourage you to put it on the back burner if it's not the right timing for you. All right. I hope this was helpful. Now, if you're thinking, well, how do I get my business to where Jeannie's is or Libby's is or Debbie's is? How do I get my business there so I can go and start a nonprofit? Because that's where my heart is. Well, I'm glad you asked, because that's what Cleaning Business Fundamentals is all about. And right now, and I don't know when we're going to end this, but we've extended a special deal that we launched back in September. And we're extending this special deal because we still have openings with our coaches. Right now, we have a crazy screaming deal that if you have a one-on-one strategy session with one of our CBF coaches and you would like to enroll in Cleaning Business Fundamentals, the program for a year, the 12-month mentoring program. In fact, somebody enrolled today with Molly. Right now, we are still honoring a discount where you get to work with your own one-on-one coach for a year and you don't have to pay the additional cost for that. I'm absorbing that cost. And so if you know you're ready to get your business healthy and to get your business to the point where it is successful so that you can start your own nonprofit someday, then just go to cleaningbusinessfundamentals.com and fill out the owner's survey, and we'll connect you with one of our coaches where you can have a conversation about your business. We can analyze where you are and see if you are ready to take that next level step. So we'd love to help you get your business to where it's successful and healthy, and then you can start your nonprofit, because it's a wonderful thing to be able to stand back with pride and say, oh my gosh, I built that thing. I started that idea. It's a wonderful feeling to know that you're responsible for helping so many people with your nonprofit, whatever it is. All right, guys. So do we have any questions? Any questions that I've missed? Let's see here. Cleaning for a Reason gives our business a wonderful association with a great cause. Jeannie's a part of Cleaning for a Reason. So many of you are. Thank you, Libby, for posting cbflive.com. That's the conference, the 3-day conference. That's not the 12-month mentorship program. But CBF Live, make sure you come to that, guys. You will love it. So I'm curious, was this helpful? Did you guys need to hear these 5 things regarding should I start my own nonprofit? Was this helpful? Type into the comments right now if you found this information helpful, useful. Is it what you needed to hear? Totally curious. And then if there are any questions, I'm checking here on my phone. Got you right here on my phone. If there are any questions, feel free to post that really quick and I'll see if I can help. Let's see here. I'm not seeing anything. I don't know if it's just not refreshing. Let's see here. Here's Jeannie's sentiments here. Cleaning Business Fundamentals is, yep. So Jeannie writes, Cleaning Business Fundamentals is the reason that I was able to grow my business and now can start working on my nonprofit. That's exactly right. She would never have been able to fulfill her wishes and dreams of launching her nonprofit several years ago when her business wasn't working. Now she has a business that works wonderfully, and she has the ability, the time, the energy, the mental energy, and the financial energy to start her own nonprofit. And I can't wait to see what Jeannie does with her nonprofit, because I know it's going to be incredible, just like she is and her business. Debbie Sardone and all of our CBF coaches are here to help you grow your business. Thank you, Jeannie, for saying that. All righty, let's see here. Debbie, I've been to 3 to 4 CBF Live. Should I go again in April? Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, it's kind of like when you get in a room with other successful people, it is impossible to leave without having more tools and information to be a greater level of success than before you came. It is impossible unless you don't want more success. So yes, even if you've been 3 to 4, even if I taught the same thing every year, even though I don't, I change it up. But even if I taught the exact same thing every year, you should come. Why? Number one, we cannot absorb all of the training that I teach in 3 days. People tell me that learning from me is like drinking from a fire hose. And I do that on purpose. I want to pack your brain full of information because I want you to leave with more information than you can implement than most places that you go to, where you just get little tidbits and all they do is try to sell. I mean, yes, we're going to try to get you to join our program, but we want you to leave with your brain hurting because you have so much information. You've had so many great conversations in the hall and at lunch and at breakfast and at the bar in the evening and at our roundtables in the evening. We want you to leave with your brain hurting. And even if I taught the same thing every single year, you should come every single year because success is contagious. And so is complacency and failure, right? It's very easy to stay behind and become complacent and to get trapped in habits of failure. But when you get on a plane or you get in the car and you drive across the country or you fly across the country and you step away from your business and away from your family and you check into a hotel and now you are entirely focused for 3 full days on growth and success and marketing and employee retention, and you're focused on those things for 3 full days, it is impossible to go back home the same way you arrived. It's impossible. You go back and you have a long list of things you're going to do over the next 12 months. And maybe you only do 3 of them. But what if those 3 things put another $100,000 in your bank account? Those 3 things that you left with. You're like, oh, I was going to do 25 things. Okay, well, most of us can't get 25 things done. But you left and you went and you implemented that one thing. And then you implemented that thing. And maybe you didn't even get to the 3rd thing, but it put $100,000 more in the bank. Would that have been worth 3 days and a couple $1,000s in travel and hotel that you got to write off with Uncle Sam anyway? You're going to pay 25% on taxes. Might as well write it off. So yes, you should be there. Do what successful people do. Never copy what unsuccessful people do. What do successful people do? The most successful cleaning companies will be in that room. You'll see cleaning companies receiving their green jacket for hitting the $1 million mark, right? Since joining CBF, you'll hear from cleaning companies that cleaned as the owner did all the cleaning themselves, couldn't find workers, couldn't grow their business, weren't charging enough, weren't making enough money, ready to close their doors, that within 2 to 3 years got to $500,000 and stopped doing the cleaning themselves. You will meet people who literally are succeeding. And so you always want to surround yourself with other successful business owners. And it's just contagious. Success is contagious, and so is failure and complacency. So you want to get away from all the distractions of your personal life and your business and spend 3 full days with residential cleaning business owners that are fired up to take a crisis and turn it into an opportunity, to take the pandemic and experience what the new normal will look like in the cleaning business economic boom. What does that look like? We're going to be talking about it for 3 full days. All right. One of the best things about CBF Live is the new relationships that you create with other cleaning business owners. Don't be alone. You will get so much great information and come away with new friends who will be on that journey with you. And they'll be your friends for life. Jeannie, Libby, Jessica, all of these people that I've already seen so far in here, Joanne Bracchio, they have made new friends for life as a result of CBF. There is nothing like never being alone again in business. Nothing like it. I wish I had this 30 years ago. I wish I had a cleaning business community that could pick up the phone in the middle of a horrible month and go, what am I doing wrong? I wish I had had that 30 years ago. All righty. Libby says, oh, I'm going green, baby. I missed something. I'm just reading that out of context. So let's see. I have learned a lot and met so many people, and that's why I went. Great. You have to go. On StreamYard, it's not showing me your Facebook username. So if you could go to streamyard.com/Facebook and just hit allow, give them permission to show your Facebook name on my StreamYard, that would be great. All righty, let's do this together, Jeannie. And you know what? You guys will love meeting our CBF coaches. They are so down to earth. And of course, Jeannie has several coaching groups, and they get together. They got together at our retreat, and they love to get together and do kind of a social with their own coach. And several of our other CBF coaches will be meeting with their mentees. And it's just going to be like a family reunion. You know, 2020, without a doubt, was a tough year for everybody. Nobody is denying that. And so to be able to come together as a group of residential cleaning business owners, some who are trying to bounce back from being closed, others trying to bounce back from just business shrinking, others trying to harness the power of this cleaning business boom that we're experiencing, all come together for 3 full days to learn, to get inspired, to get motivated, to get answers to your questions. Imagine if you make the trip, you attend for 3 days, And it was one conversation at the bar at 9:00 at night that changes everything for you. That makes you a millionaire. Would that have been worth your 3-day trip? If it was just that one conversation that changed everything for you. Do you know that's how Cleaning for a Reason started? I went to a conference at ISSA, and I was actually teaching on branding and marketing and cause marketing. I was talking about my internal program. And because I was teaching about marketing and branding, and all these business owners were asking me about starting that in their own hometown, you realize it was that one talk, even though it was the one I gave. And it never occurred to me when I was writing out my own talk that this could be a nonprofit. It only occurred to me when other cleaning business owners came to me and we started having conversations about, well, I'd like to do that in Ashland, Ohio. Well, I would like to do that in Tampa, Florida. I'd like to do that in Lincoln, Nebraska. It wasn't until I had these outside conversations after the conference, after hours, that I realized, oh my goodness, I'm going to go back and start a nonprofit. And I did. And 12 months later, I launched the nonprofit at the next conference. And 15 years later, we've served over 40,000 families with the gift of free house cleaning. You don't know what conversation is going to change your life forever. And I'm not saying it's the conversation where you start a nonprofit. It could be the conversation where you finally break through the glass ceiling of being $1 million maid service. It could be the conversation you've been needing to have to finally get you to the point where you can put down that mop forever, never pick it up again, and build your empire instead of cleaning another toilet. So CBF Live, guys, you have to be there. You have to be there. It will be life-changing. Oh, the green jackets. Oh, okay, Libby. Thank you. I thought when she says I'm definitely going green, I'm like, you're going green? Like green cleaning? Oh, yeah. Green jacket. I'm so excited. Now, there's going to be some people that would have gotten the green jacket this year, but for COVID, it kind of held them back a little bit. So they may be, waiting till next year to get it. But a lot of people will be getting their green jacket in spite of COVID because they were on the verge of hitting the $1 million mark. And it's just so exciting. And some of you are like, what is this green jacket? What is this green jacket? You have to be there live to see it and experience it. And it's so motivating to see other cleaning businesses that 3 years ago, they were exactly where you are today. You're like, what? You got there in 3 years? How'd you do that? Hello? We have a system for that. And so to see somebody else get their green jacket, their $1 million mop-free millionaire jacket, is incredibly inspiring and motivating. And it gives you the hope, you know what, I'm going to be on that stage too in 2 years or 3 years or 5 years. All righty. A conversation at the bar with Paul will change your business. Paul's one of our advanced CBF members. And it changed my life, Libby says, when he approached me after my presentation at CBF Live. That's right. One conversation at those events, because you're not just nose to the grind that you are every single day, day in, day out, Monday through Friday, and some people Monday through Sunday, right? Monday all the way 7 days a week. Your nose is not to the grind. Your ears are listening for the $1 million opportunity. And we're going to show you how to truly build momentum in the new normal and how to take this crisis and turn it into an opportunity. So CBF Live. Nina, I'm going to be looking for your registration, dear, if you're still on there. Guys, go to cbflive.com. Get registered tonight. Price is going up soon. I don't know when. My team takes care of that, but I can't wait to see you. So hope this was helpful. Oh, great, Nina. Glad to hear it. And can't wait to see you guys at CBF Live. I'm sure I'll jump on here one more time sometime this week. CBF members, Momentum Tier 2 and Tier 3. We have Wednesday training, don't forget. And then tomorrow night, I believe, is our Tier 1 training tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central. So don't forget, guys, we're back in the swing of things. Took some time off over Thanksgiving. Now we're ready to jump back in, answer questions, and keep growing. All right. Hope you guys have a great night. Thanks for joining me tonight. Thank you, CBF coaches, Jeannie and Libby, for being a part of my broadcast. And of course, always throwing some energy and some excitement my way. And love you guys. See you soon. Take care.